definitely something I can't really put words to. I was saying to Rui on the bench, like, never in my life I thought I was gonna be a Laker, and it hit me in the home arena today. Just hearing the fans chant my name and everybody cheering. It was kind of unusual sounds other than boos. So I definitely embraced myself for the boos, but it wasn't no boos, man. It was kids, everybody just showing love and welcoming me to LA, and I played so freely, and I had a lot of fun, playing in that purple and gold arena.
Talking to JJ and some of the other coaches, sound like you guys had a really good week in practice and stuff like that. Did you feel like things were able to translate a little bit?
Yeah, really good, hard, good week. Yeah. That training camp don't play, man. It was a lot of. I say the training camp was definitely hard. The games in training camp was definitely harder than the actual preseason games, and that's what you want. And practice was ramped up all week. I think we went straight. We had one day off, but everybody was dialed in. I ain't practiced like that in a minute. Where we all had a purpose, and everybody was just focused on that one goal. Coming out of camp.
DeAndre was really active tonight. Especially off ball, and then he had the 5 assists. Just what have you seen from him early on? What's it like being able to play with a center that can do what he does?
I think with him, I know it's been like that with the Luka and LeBron, but he get a lot of attention too in the offense side. So for him to be in the floor, it's good for us, just especially like me, Fando, Jake, all those guys, we can get those easy looks. Even today, too, I got a couple assists from him. I think those are things that he can do it, too, on the court. So, yeah, I think for him to kind of still have to adjust a little bit with our system, but I think today was the good day for him to for all of us to see what we can do.
Hey, Rui, obviously a lot of players are still out right now, but without LeBron, how's your kind of role change on the offensive end? You got to play off of Austin and Ayton today on their pick and rolls, but how do you feel like your offensive kind of role changes with LeBron out?
Yeah, I just got to be more aggressive, and with him being out, I can attack to the rim more, because he likes to post up more. So when that happens, I have to be more spaced out. So those kind of stuff I can do more when he's out. So yeah, it's just a little bit of difference, but not much. I just got to do the same thing what I'm supposed to do.
Got to the free throw line 8 times tonight. Just kind of what were you seeing out there in terms of being able to get contact and get to the line out there?
Just going into the paint and trying to draw contact, and then just trying to play through and trying to make the layups and stuff. But I got the foul, and then just trying to knock the free throws.
Hey, Dalton, you got to kind of play off Austin and Ayton today off the pick and roll. Have you been told kind of like what your role would be on the team and on the offensive end?
Similar to Elijah, just going out there, be confident, knock down shots, and just get ready, team defense, rebound. I think it's pretty simple. All of us kind of had that same.
Hey, Dalton, JJ said you had the best training camp of all the guys, and he said you scored by a wide margin of 42 points. How has that helped you in these games and your confidence?
Say just going against my guy Vando and then Marcus Smart, going against those 2 guys when they're guarding me, if I can score on them, I can pretty much score on everybody. So shout out to them for, guarding me, and then obviously my guys are just looking for me and giving me the ball.
Dalton, your position right now, it's a dream for every kid who's ever held the ball. Who do you look up to growing up?
I looked up to my parents, my dad especially, and then also I looked up to KD. Those are the 2 people I just looked up to my whole entire life. So, it's always good to have my dad in the corner because, I could just go to him all the time.
You mentioned the battles in camp. Who's been the toughest defender for you in camp so far?
My guy Vando, for sure. Me and him worked a little bit throughout the summer, and then, it's just good always going to compete against him, playing ones, and then you get to go against 5s and stuff like that.
Austin, first of all, JJ said he thought you were fine, just took that kind of knee from Pods. You're fine?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Just making sure. We were just talking to DeAndre, and he spoke a lot about you and kind of what he's learning about your game. What have you seen from him, not just in the games, but in practice thus far, and what is that? What level of excitement does that give you for the season?
Yeah, just how much skill he has. You know, people forget about when he was in Phoenix and how dominant he was there, and how he, you know, was, you know, one of the biggest reasons that team made it to the finals that year. You know, talent's high. You know, can play in the pick and roll, can protect the rim. So, you know, we need that. We need him to, you know, flourish in that role.
He was talking about this kind of learning how to do the screen roll work with you specifically, and how he likes your your ability to get by your guy. So sometimes he doesn't want to come and get in your way. Other times, but he has to be aware for when you call him over. What have you seen from that, and kind of how do you decide when you've got the advantage versus when you want to come bring him in the action?
Yeah, I think that, you know, those things just grow throughout reps, and that's, you know, kind of what we're trying to do in preseason. Get those reps, and I don't really, you know, I'm not sitting there thinking about it in the moment. If I can, you know, go by my guy, I'm gonna go by him. If not, you know, need a screen, then I'll have him come screen. So, you know, it's been fun to, you know, get to play, you know, alongside him in that pick and roll.
Austin, paying you a compliment post game. JJ brought up a player comp I haven't heard before. If you bringing up Jamal Crawford, are there any similarities to?
I like that one. Jamal Crawford was cold. Jamal Crawford was cold. I don't know. I think, you know, I think where he's coming from is kind of the creativity offensively. You know, I don't want to speak for him, but I'm not someone that sits there and plans what I'm about to do. Everything kind of just, you know, happens naturally, happens, you know, in the flow of the game. So I haven't heard that one, but I like JJ a little more now.
What was it like to walk into a new locker room like this for the first time as a Laker?
I felt like I was on a different team. I had no idea where I was going. I forgot about it. They told us that, you know, changes were being made. But when I walked in, I was like, what the heck's going on? And then I came back, you know, about 4 minutes on the, you know, clock right before the game, and I literally ran the wrong direction and couldn't find the locker room. So it'll take some time to get used to, but it's just really nice.
DeAndre said just now that, you know, he's got a big personality, and I think that was his phrasing. But that, you know, there have been guys in the team that have embraced it and tried to work with him on things. And I'm just curious, how do you think he's fit in so far into this group? And obviously, he's such a talented player. What can he do for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a lot of responsibility this year for, you know, things that we want to do. If we want to be, you know, as good as we think we could be, we need him to be, you know, at his best, you know, self, and whatever that looks like. You know, we all got personalities in here, and, you know, we just got to continue to, you know, gel those, you know, learn things about one another, you know, connect off the court, and just have genuine relationships. Because once you have that, and you look around the locker room, and you know, like, that guy will go to war with me, that guy will go to war with me. So if you get that feeling, then, you know, every time you step on the court, you know, it's not about me, it's about us and how we can, you know, get a win that night.
Closer to kind of where you want to be and what you're looking at, and how does that, you know, hit you after a week of practice, and what did you see, I guess, on the floor based on what you've been working on?
Biggest thing offensively, I thought we did a great job of just getting to the next action. We shared the basketball. There wasn't a player that really dominated in terms of assists or time on the ball. We ended up with 28 assists. That was good. Didn't love how we took care of the basketball. And look, some of that is, you know, some of the lineups. When AR's not on the floor, you don't have the luxury of putting Luka and LeBron on the floor. So that's a work in progress. Our hand activity in the first half was awesome. Still don't love our general transition defense, and that's just not after a turnover or a missed shot. We still just are lacking a little bit of urgency to get back after makes and get matched up and talk, and something that we'll continue to clean up.
Austin had that brief little kind of tweak, it looked like, with Pajemski. Did you get anything on that? Is he all right?
Yeah, he got kneed in the posterior, anterior calf. I don't know. I think he just got a knee to his lower leg muscle. I think he's fine.
Staying on Austin, you've spoken to us during preseason about how he's been one of your leaders in terms of production load. That I don't know how you guys term it, but in terms of what he's doing day to day in practice, you said his body's looked improved from the offseason. Have you seen different wrinkles to his game than the guy you were coaching last season?
A little bit so far in the games. I think a lot in practice. Yesterday, for example, in the scrimmage, he did some things just off the bounce, and maybe that was just our poor defense, but the purple team literally couldn't contain him. He just kind of got wherever he wanted, and I think that was coming off Thursday when I kind of modified him. Just he was kind of like a fake live rep guy. It was, I told him before practice, you're going to do 2 reps of live on every drill and then you're out. And so then he gets Friday off, and I think he just had, tonight again, just that burst was there. And, he's so crafty, the ability to draw fouls. You put your hand there and he's able to rise up. I played with a guy, Jamal Crawford, who was so good at that. So it's just, picking up little tricks here and there to get to the free throw line. He's always been good at that, but you see that continue to develop.
JJ, you previously mentioned trying to get DeAndre more involved offensively tonight. 14 points, also 5 assists. What did you see from him with his chemistry with Austin, Gabe, and just also guys finding him on like weak side drives?
Yeah, he was really good in the pocket tonight, and I think that's similar to some other bigs. Like him in the pocket is a really good thing, and we got to find him. I think there's opportunities. There were opportunities tonight where we didn't find him. Sometimes on the roll, sometimes on the pocket. But he was great. I thought too, just his poise and his patience as like a hub. Whether it was playing out of horns or whether it was playing that second side, we just got some really good stuff when he got the ball at the elbow.
JJ, Dalton had talked about his struggles in the summer league. What did you see tonight that you liked about what he did?
I thought he let the game come to him offensively. Did some nice things in transition. Got to the free throw line. Again, his sort of ceiling is going to be based on his improvement this season as a defender. He's a big time threat and a big time player. And he's made improvements, but that's ultimately going to be what the ceiling is for him. He's had offensively the best of any person on our team in camp. We've tracked everything. First 3-day segment, he shot 16 of 27 from the field and 12 of 20 from 3. And the second 3-day segment, he shot 16 of 27 from the field and 12 of 20 from 3. I mean, he's literally the leading scorer in live play by like 42 points. So he earned the opportunity tonight to give a look with him in the starting lineup. And we'll just our conversations all summer, all preseason. This is a year of player, development for him, of growth, and what that looks like. It's got to be incremental. He's bought into that, which is great.
Hey JJ, you talked about Ayton as a hub. You got a few games now of the Austin Ayton kind of pick and roll. What have you seen from them two just working together as a pick and roll tandem?
Yeah, I think DA is really good in terms of reading what the ball handler's defender is doing, what the call is, if it's a strong, weak, or ice. He just, his ability to flip screens, and I think force those overs. And then again, just, him in the pocket has been really good. But he's made a concerted effort to get Austin open, like create advantages for Austin using his screening, which I think is only going to benefit everyone down the line.
Thanks, Coach.